All right, here we go, folks. We got ourselves a very special, fresh series coming at you. Spawning up at the top left for Team Liquid, it is Clem. In the blue. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right for Basilisk, it is Reynor. The speedy, lightning fast, young Italian. Coming in with an Extractor Trick 15 hatch. One of the... Well, this match has been amazing. When they are both on form, when they are both in form, they are... They provide some of the most entertaining StarCraft, bar none. It is almost always just a slog, back and forth slugfest between the two of them. Such impressive stuff. Very cool. Very, very cool to see. And we'll have to see if that is what we end up seeing between the two of them. Clem obviously won his first offline Premier tournament at ESL Masters Winter in Atlanta and performed one of the greatest TVZ matches of all time versus Cyril at best of 5. Particularly Game 3 on Alcyone was just a ridiculously well-fought game from Clem. He really, really fought a brilliant game. There were some mistakes. He got caught out by fungal growth once or twice. There was one particular moment where Cyril was able to overrun the position. Even though Clem saved all of his ghosts, things got really out of hand. I actually casted that game live with Beowulf, and that was one of the more exciting and enjoyable games I've ever casted. By the way, we have a double drone pull coming out of Reynor. Very cute move. Clem will get in here. Queen, very fast to pop. 225. Even for an Extractor Trick hatch first, that is a fast Queen pop. But yeah, one of the greatest TVZ showings of all time from Clem. And Reynor, at his absolute peak, won Gamers 8, losing, I believe, only one map to Terran at that tournament, and defeating, honestly, making Terran almost look trivial, and playing some of the highest level Zerg we've ever seen, particularly the highest level Zerg versus Terran. So I think both of them have shown new heights at their peak. And now that we've kind of, set that primer, now we just sit back and watch the fireworks, or potentially watch one of the most boring 3-0s ever happen. But I don't think we got to worry about that. Off of this Extractor Trick hatch first, we do see Reynor is going for the Roach Warren. Clem, he was able to pick off 2 lings early on, both of the early lings with that Reaper, so it was not bad at all, but wasn't able to get a creep tumor. We are going to see a grenade trying to come on in. We'll be able to run by with these Hellions. Oh no, Reynor stacks up the drones, takes a gigantic blast. 9 drones going down before the first unit of the Terran even falls. Reynor at least kills one of the Hellions, one of the Reapers, but my God, was that ever a big connection. Clem getting the dream shot with that first volley. Reynor stacked up the drones. I don't know if he was expecting to be able to build an Evo chamber, if he didn't have the money, or what it was. I think that's got to be it. I think that has to be it. I think he didn't have the money, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me, is that he stacked up the drones like that to build an Evo chamber. Like, first of all, pulls the drones away from this location, and then meant to build an Evo chamber. I don't know what it was. I wasn't looking at the mineral count at that moment. But oh man. Oh man, oh man. Ooh, these queens, one of them taking a lot of damage right here. Hellions are pretty low on HP, at least 2 of them. So Clem does not want to throw those away for free, but he is no doubt ahead off of that early drive-by. 225 is just the standard time the queens pop in this build order. It's not early. No, I thought it was 227 is when they're supposed to pop, because it's 237 for the normal setup. Queens will get some damage on the Banshees, which is actually really nice for Reynor. He is recovering pretty well. Oh. Oh, should probably be paying attention to the Hellion run by, which gets another 7 drones. Huge damage. Oh, and the Banshees in the main get the Queen there as well, and another drone. This is already massive, massive damage coming on in. We are going to see 1-1 Roach on the setup for Reynor. Even getting the kill on the gas is actually such a nice additional bit of damage. Clem just recognizing, yeah, I've killed the queens. I've got free reign. You're going to stack the drones up. Well, okay, fine. I'll kill your extractor. That's a decent setup. Reynor is up to 76 drones and still powering here. And he's got a good amount of roaches. So I don't... Well, actually, no, he doesn't have a good amount of roaches yet. He's only on 4 roaches. So he's actually been very greedy with the roach count, but it should be okay. Oh, Transfuse keeps that one Overlord alive. Good job. Spore Crawler going to get targeted down here by Clem. And he will zoom by. Really nice little segment here from Clem. Oh, he's going to drop back down, but Reynor's on top of it. Queens almost intercepting, but Clem, man, you can... This is why I talk about these guys with such reverence. They're so good at what they do. Such ridiculously fast players. During all this, they're not missing a beat. Clem 2-2 on the way. Drilling Claws. Interesting that he's going for Drilling Claws, but he knows that Reynor does prefer to go into Lingbane behind this. Reynor not yet getting that Baneley Nest, but he does have the Infestation Pit done. And go into a hive very shortly. Nice Transfuse on the Roaches, keeping those alive. Second set of drops are moving through the middle. Reynor, nice pullback on the Roaches, but of course Clem able to get away with those units into the medevacs. Queen's a little bit caught out here. Ling speed not quite done. No 2-2 yet on the way here for Reynor. He's got the money for it, but of course he is focused on these fights. There we go. There's the 1-2 upgrades coming on in. Still no Baneley Nest yet. Queen does get sniped down. Good job from Reynor. Or from Clem, I should say. This game really heating up here on hard lead. Lot of pardon me, Marines crossing the field here. +2 missile. Actually, he cancels +1 melee. Clem might just run Reynor over right here. There is not a whole lot of Roach Ravager. Widowmines are not really the weapons of choice that you want, but the 2-2 upgrades are going to have a big thing to say about this. A lot of Lings on the other side of the map. Well, actually, will they get cleaned up? Okay, yes, they will. Just barely enough. Let Clem continue to push forward with the Marines on the right side. The mass Roach Ravager on the defense is struggling to keep up with Clem's army. Clem really on his horse in this one. He has just been trading fantastically with this, and 18 drones have gone down. We've got a drop in the middle that looks like it was pushed back. Spore Crawler got a lot of damage in on that one medevac. Reynor struggling to keep up with the multitasking of Clem. But he has stabilized at least for the moment. Ooh, double lurker den coming in from Reynor. Very impressive that he's even still alive, but can he keep that up? Oh, if he loses his space in the middle, that is going to make things very difficult for him. Widowmine gets actually a fair bit of friendly fire. I'm not even sure what dragged that in. There's no melee units here. Did he pull a roach into that? Into the army? Banshee's still alive, by the way, are getting a lot of value during these fights, but, I mean, he's continuing to make Widowmines, and his opponent has not really made that many Lings. No Banes. There's no Overseer here. The Spore Crawler was repositioned to deal with this. The fact that no siege tanks have been made and Clem is continuing to just build mines, that is kind of undercutting a lot of the advantage he should have. Banshees do manage to catch a couple of units here. Ooh, that's a big mine shot. Oh my goodness. The thing is, if mines go undetected, which they won't any longer, they'll get cleaned up right now. But when they go undetected, if they hit big balls of roaches, I mean, it's like any splash damage. Even banelings can be effective against roaches if they get enough of them. Concave is better for Reynor, but Clem, of course, just has the medevac healing. And those Marines, they pack a punch. Oh, man, these mines are really starting to cause problems. 11 drones going down to a mine drop. I think just the mine drop. These Hydras do not have upgrades, by the way. They're 2-2, but they do not have range or the speed upgrade. Reynor just desperately trying to get up into these lurkers. I feel like I'm getting out multitasked super hard in this game. Nice transfuse from Reynor, but it's not enough to keep that one queen alive. Clem has just been all over the young Italian. We are seeing Reynor, though, create a win condition for himself despite everything. If he can get a Nidus network up in the main base, he still can potentially do this. Now, these Lings are brutally out-upgraded. Ooh, we see a dive in on top of the lurkers. Looks like the scan ran out, but he was still able to reapply the scan, get another kill. Counterattack on the other side of the map is going to get dealt with and cleaned up. And Clem finally wipes out that base in the middle of the map. This has been a back-and-forth game, to say the very least. Well, actually, less so back and forth and more just everyone... Well, Clem pulling his opponent every which way. But as the 5th base goes down for Reynor, and Clem has secured a 6th base of his own, I think there's just not a whole lot you can do in a situation like this. We even see the Fusion Core coming on in, 2nd starport, late game engineering bay upgrades. Banshees still alive, 23 kills and 14 kills. Even the lurkers with their +2 armor will eventually get to succumb to that. For the Banshees Hellfire missiles. Finally, one of those Banshees goes down, but not before it has gotten magnificent value. We've got a counterattack on the other side. Clem will have his main production in a little bit of jeopardy here. Almost the worst thing for Clem is the fact that he doesn't have any free supply. There's actually like nothing here. And a ton of SCVs going down very quickly. A lot of drones have already fallen, but dragging and dropping it on top of the army. I think that should be enough for Clem. Not everything getting out of the medevacs, but it doesn't matter. He's got a spread by just dragging and dropping these units. Reynor trying to get units out of the Nidus Worm. Would like to see Clem maybe target down more quickly, but it doesn't matter. He still dealt with this. He still cleans it up. Very impressive that Reynor even created a modicum of a win condition from that scenario. But Clem takes game 1. All right, here we go. Game number 2. Spawning up in the top left for Team Liquid, it is Clem. Malem. And his opponent spawning up at the top right for Basilisk, it's Reynor. In the red. That was an awesome game. Really impressive multitasking from Clem, but equally impressive that Reynor was able to not falter and not fall apart. Obviously, he was getting slowly further and further behind, but man, I'm impressed. I will say that Clem continuing to build Widow Mines, it's very funny from a situation like that. Not an optimal situation, but it does kind of make sense because almost always Reynor continues to go, or Reynor will go into Banelings from a situation like that. And you even saw the fast +1 melee as the follow-up. +1 melee, +2 carapace, and then Reynor kind of realized, like, huh, what happens if I just continue to build Roach Ravager? Will you transition back into tanks? And Clem, apparently, the answer is no. He will not, which is really interesting. Now, Equilibrium. This is a good Zerg map. Very good Zerg map. Since it is a best of 5, if it was normal vetoes, where it was veto, 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 and then all the picks, we would almost certainly see Equilibrium getting vetoed. But it is not. So we do not see that situation. We see veto, veto. So obviously Clem vetoed Rad Huset. And I'm assuming Reynor vetoed Hecate, because that is probably the best turtle map in the game. But that means Equilibrium gets through. Clem? Ooh, he's... Oh, no, we don't get that. Good defense from Reynor. Places the tumor far enough back. And of course the Lings were well positioned. But even just having your opponent be like this with the Reaper, it's annoying. Now, the SCV being pulled to block the hatch and not getting the block, that is a little bit annoying for the Terran. But actually, hang on. He was just trying to prevent the
Command
gold
center
base?
upgrade
Yes, no?
complete.
No, he doesn't have vision of the gold. So then, wait, what? Oh, he didn't get the block at all then. We will see a fast 3cc play out of Clem. And it is going to be a second Marine. No Tech Lab. So I think we're probably going to see Hellion Liberator. Ooh, grenade going to knock one of the Queens askew. Ling speed not yet done. And that's the timing that Clem is exploiting. Evo Chamber. Oh, the drone popped out of the gas and blocked the block. Oh, that is infuriating. Hellions will grab 4 drones in total. Oh my god, that is frustrating. That is so frustrating right there. Ling speed has completed. And he does get the 3rd Hellion that went across the map. Oh, instant. Oh my god, he kills both creep tumors. That Hellion just, oof. That just paid for the loss of the 3rd Hellion. Killing those 2 tumors like that. Obviously, the creep spread war is so important early on. We are going to see, looks like a total of 8 cars being built, 8 Hellions. Clem sending everything across the map, which is really bold, actually. And maybe doing so because of the map that it is. Like, if Reynor were counterattacking with 8 to 10 Lings right now, this could be really nasty. There's not only are there no Hellions at home, there's like 1 Marine in production in terms of combat units. There's four Marines out, but this could have been really ugly. But of course, if you don't know your opponent's doing that, well, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, I don't think Reynor was really anticipating that. So any opportunity is moot. And of course, the potential of your opponent opening up Banshee really shuts anything like that down. Where is the Liberator? Okay. Sieged up. Looks like it got a drone kill. Yeah, probably should have been looking for that. Since I knew the Liberator was on the map. There is a Spore Crawler here. Oh, he's building a second one. Gold base is going to get taken by Reynor. And he will be going for banelings this time. Oops, scan comes down in the natural. I'm guessing he was looking for like a Spire or a Roach Warren maybe. Anything out of the ordinary. He finds the double evil though and the baneling nest, which will let him know that, yeah, okay, my opponent's... Oh, God, the drones! Okay. Oh, that was close. He might have been able to die for that, but he did not want to risk losing the Hellions. That is what that tells me. When Reynor's been able to beat Clem in recent history, it's been off the back of some really impressive Ling counterattacks. Ling and Bane counterattacks. Speaking of which, well, there is a really nice wall around this third. And a Widowmine set up there. Ooh, we are going to see the Hellions running into the third base. Liberator coming in as well into the main. Widowmine. Oh, gets a big connection right there. Liberator will get taken down by the Spore. Hellions got cleaned up on the bottom side. Great defense from Reynor, but it does come with a cost. And the Hellion and Liberators are, of course, well, they're the earlier stage harassment units. You'd love to keep them alive, but finding damage with them is your goal. And he did so. So it's not like the Marines where you're like, ooh, okay, I want to keep those alive so I can keep, you know, harassing like Clem loves to do. Oh my God, the target fire on that last low health Bane. That was insane. Oh my God, Mr. Luby, thank you so much for the 30 gifted subs. Holy crap, thank you. Wow-a-wee-wah. We are going to see the mines burrowing on up here. Reynor, ooh, does lose one queen. Transfuse to make sure he doesn't lose the second. I actually think that was the wise call. He might have been trying to do the math in his head. He wasn't sure. I had Burrito with another 10 gifted subs. Holy crap, thank you so much. Recovering that sub count up very nicely. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Baneling's getting the connections on the Marines as Clem trying to multitask here, and Reynor kind of getting the better of him there for a moment. A couple of queens, though, do go down in the main base. Good job from Clem. Target firing those. And this is still a very uncomfortable situation for Reynor. He's gotten up to 83 drones, but this is still really tough. Now, I will say, Clem has not started up his 2-2 just yet. Went very quickly into Drilling Claws. Ooh, Reynor. Those Widowmines are a little bit clumped up. Two of them do go down very quickly in a decent Baneling connection. Of course, the Medevacs will be able to heal up. Widowmines getting some decent connections, but not the worst it could have been. And Reynor pushes this back once again. Excellent defense. And with 2-2 on the way for Reynor and no 2-2 started up yet for Clem, he is starting to get into a little bit of trouble. Oh, that one Marine actually killed the Ling and got the Baneling kill. Second drop on the bottom side, trying to reopen the multitasking war. Of course, speed is Reynor's greatest claim to fame. So anything you can do to tax your opponent's speed is obviously going to be a really good thing. Queen's on the bottom side, going to try and help deal with this. Widowmines do have their Drilling Claws. Huge mine connections on the Ling Bane right there. And there was no detection. Reynor had this Overseer, but it wasn't right there where it needed to be. Transfuse going to be good to buy some time. Great target fire on that one Baneling. We will see this army getting pushed back. Where's the Overseer? Oh, it abandoned its post. Does manage to get one of those medevacs. Oh my God, these mines. Oh, they're going to fire again. Why do you get punished for having creep? He gets the Widowmine. Survives. Manages to fire again. So difficult to see those Widowmines on creep. Always been a complaint of mine. You get punished for good play. I think that's ridiculous. But, of course, he did know those mines were there. In a sense that they had already fired. Oh, Widowmine. Let's get a decent connection. Lings and Banes. Oh my God, he's all over the place on whether to engage here or not. He does eventually re-engage. Clem with some nice pick-up and drop micro on the retreat. Reynor, though, has driven this army back. On the top side, ooh, Burrowed Banes. Oh, those could be sexy. Oh, those could be huge. Ooh, he scanned and actually splashed himself a little bit. Widow Mines. Oh, wow. Some of them, somehow none of them firing. They actually took some big damage from the Banes, and it meant that not a single one of them fired there. Clem almost losing that one medevac. The Hydras do have speed, no range. If they can close the distance on that one medevac would be huge. That one Hydra refusing to fire, finally going to shoot. Needed 3 shots to kill, only got 1 of them. Mines that were strewn around in the middle do get cleaned up here. Clem has now been pushed back thoroughly. Reynor, this is his opportunity to kill Clem before he can get into the next stage of the game, which is, of course, Ghost Liberator. Ghosts are starting to be added on, but Reynor's got a huge income advantage off of that gold base he secured earlier, and a great economy he's had for a long time. Widow Mines, good spreads from Reynor, but they still get some good shots. Clem, reinforcements showing up from the left side, able to drive this army back. An absolute slobber knocker here on Equilibrium. In game number 1, it felt like Reynor was off guard, or off balance, kind of from the very beginning. We are seeing infestors being added on from Reynor. So we will be using those burrowed infestors to try and start off, kick off some engagements for him. Ooh, more burrowed Banes. Oh, massive connections. That was like 6 seconds or so after he set up those Banes, they paid dividends. Oh, that is so frustrating for the Terran right there. And there are more and more Banes where that's concerned. Another setup here, another setup in the middle. Reynor is, of course, still behind in resources lost, but Clem is not having an easy go of it. That is for damn sure. Reynor getting some good trades in the last little bit here. This burrowed infestor could be the big kickoff that Reynor needs. Oh, it finds the army too. Oh, and he sees exactly what's there. There are 3 infestors. One of them is going to get EMP'd. Unburrow. He only gets 1 fungal off, and it is not very impressive. Gets a couple of ghosts. Oh, is there enough to hold, though? Of course, the Planetary Fortress is going to help behind this. Ooh, burrowed Banes! Boom! Just before the scan. Brilliant stuff out of Reynor here. Oh my God, these plays are so sick. Reynor really turning it on here in game number 2. Nice retarget there on the Widow Mine, but it already got the job done. And Clem loses the gold base, only loses 5 SCVs. This game, despite everything, if he can stabilize, Equilibrium is a very good map for splitting from the Terran perspective. But will Reynor let him do so? Ooh, we've even got a Nidus Worm in the main base. Do we have a Lurker Den? Yes, we do. We have Lurkers then. No, we do not. If you go for Lurkers, you are slowing down the game. Hydralane Bane is a much more tempo-based composition. And we will see another base going down. Ooh, Fungal Road. This time it is effective. One of the infestors gets taken out, but the first one got that Dream Fungal. Widowmine does get dragged a little bit into those medevacs. Or more so than anything, there's just nothing on the ground. And the third planetary in about a minute and a half gets taken down. Clem will be forced to tap out of this game, and we are going to game 3 on all even Stevens. He might stick around in this game for a little bit longer. But Reynor is, well, he's got this one. He's got it all locked up. I will say there's he doesn't have a ton of larva. And there's, oh, never mind, there it is. GG gets called. Okay, I was like, is Clem gonna actually be able to stabilize for a little bit? But no, we are looking at a 1-1 scoreline. Fantastic. All right, we've already got ourselves a fantastic series on our hands. Spawning down in the bottom right for Basilisk, it is Reynor in the red, and his opponent starting to cook, but getting stopped there. In game number 2 for Team Liquid, it's Clem in the blue. Man, those burrowed Baneling plays in the middles, particularly that one where he burrowed outside of Clem's gold. First of all, there was like 3 big burrowed banes in that game, but just a phenomenal setup. We are going to be seeing gas pool out of Reynor here. I believe 17 gas, 16 pool. So he's going to be looking to basically soft counter or give himself an opportunity to shut down the 2-Rax Reaper play very effectively. However, unfortunately for Reynor, Clem is going to be the one who is going for that, that 1-Rax expand with the SCV Scout. So this is not an ideal situation for Reynor in terms of how these build orders set up. It's not to say that, you know, he's in a terrible spot by any stretch, but... And you can find uses for that early Ling speed, but it won't be the setup I think he specifically wanted. Now, this would be the kind of scenario where a player like Reynor, I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, maybe even a Baneling all in, a Ling Bane bust, or a quick Roach Horn, or something really crazy. And we do have him continue to mine all 3 drones on gas. This makes me think that we're maybe going to see like a quick layer. Ooh, but Clem wisely going up into the main base. He's going to see the continued gas mining. Sees 2 drones on gas. I don't know if he got an opportunity to click. I didn't see the blue circle that would indicate that Clem clicked on that gas. He starts up a 3rd command center, though, which is very bold. Like, really, really bold. He actually snipes a Ling. Oh, my God, Clem. Clem! Clem! He's too good with his Reaper. He's so good with it. It is going to be a fast layer. All right, Reynor, what do we have in store? Is it going to be a fast Nidus Worm? I think it's too early of a layer to actually be 2-base Muta. Could be a Ling drop in theory. Grenade will not save that Reaper. We'll let him get a kill on one of those Lings. But yeah, it's pretty hard to keep that alive against Ling speed. Okay, it could be 2-base Muta. We'll see. If it's not, like, I literally I don't know what it is. Like, it's gonna be really weird if it's not 2-base Muta. Or because he hasn't built a Roach Warren. He is going up to 4 queens. Okay, with a 3rd hatchery, yeah, it's got to be 2-base Muta. He's going to have the gas for the Spire basically right as the layer completes. Okay, there it is. Yeah, 2-base Muta. That is quite interesting. He could, of course, drop creep right here with this Overlord. But... wouldn't necessarily be the biggest fan of that, because that would reveal the early layer timing. And Clem did not see the layer start, so why give him that information? It will be Hellion Liberator, which means that the transition into additional barracks... Well, actually, no, he's going up to 8 Hellions, so it's not going to be the fastest transition into barracks. They'll be starting up very shortly, but... Is there an opportunity... the lack of a Reaper, by the way, is a big deal because it means these queens can be certain that the Hellions cannot run by into the natural. Clem, let's see if he gets any fast turrets here. He's not adjusting his build to get an earlier engineering bay because, well, he frankly doesn't need to. Liberator will set up in the natural. Ooh, Hellions are going to try and run by. Oh. Cute defense so far from Reynor. Lings behind the queens. And the Hellions had to funnel through single file. So here's the problem, though. This got scouted so early. Mutas aren't even out yet. We are going to see the hatchery take a surprising amount of damage from these Hellions. Reynor is like... Oh, man, he needs to find so much value with these Mutas, and I really don't see how he can. This is a bold move if he actually goes for this. Oh, he will. Oh, my God, he goes right in. Going to lose all the Hellions, but he will grab 5 drones. Was that worth it? Because now a mutiling attack, can it just kill him? I don't think so. But securing the third base is going to be really difficult. If Reynor can recognize that the loss of those Hellions makes it super difficult to secure this third base, he may be able to keep... Oh, Clem, no, don't do it. Okay, there's the stim. He gets back behind the wall. SCVs will be pulled. Very nice little surgical attack right there from Reynor. But oh, no, he gets baited back in. Loses 3 mutas. 2 mutas. SCV pull is good. And he locks the door, traps the lings. Oh, okay. Well, that went from being good for Reynor with the first little snipe to, I would say, quite bad for him. Losing 2 of those mutas and all the lings. He does trade out. He kills a couple of SCVs. But killing a couple of SCVs is not enough. Double Widowmine trap. Very nice little play. Reynor was not anticipating the mines already being there. That was such a brilliant little trap from Clem. Reynor trying to find value with these mutas, but I mean, he's lost already so many of them. Killing a supply depot would actually be really nice, but the SCV coming through, able to get the repair. And now it's 1-1 combat shields finishing up. Oh, this is a big problem. Oh, somehow the Widowmine did not fire. Nice cancel on the factory. Good job from Reynor. He's able to actually find a fair amount of value. Gets a couple of SCVs, gets that factory cancel. Thank you, Dave Testa, for the 69 bits, the 10, the 9, the 8, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 6, the 2, the 10, the 9, the 8, the 7, the 6, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. And ooh, another missile turret kill on a muta right there. We do have +1 done on the mutas, which means, of course, they are a little bit more spicy. Baneling Nest being delayed significantly by Reynor. He's been droning up during all of this, but obviously he was in a situation where he had to drone super hard. And now it is Clem's turn to get aggressive. And thank you for the 50 bits. Thank you. Ooh, can he snipe that one Widowmine? Nope. Clem was trying to kind of, I think was trying to bait with it for a second there. Reynor does not want to fight before his own 1-1 is done. Clem with another little drop on the top side. Mutiling Bane, of course. If you can play it to perfection, you can be an absolute terror to deal with. But it is so many moving parts, much like trying to multi-prong in 3 places at once with, you know, Terran drops. Things can go very bad very quickly. Oh, nice little snipe right there from Reynor. Leads in with a couple of lanes. Widowmines. Oh, getting some big connections. I believe those were manually targeted by Clem. Reynor. Oh, he's going to lose the base on the top side. He cannot afford to lose this base as well. Target fire on the Banes after the hatch goes down. Mutas will get the cleanup eventually, but they pay a dreadful cost for the cleanup. And Clem, as I alluded to, killed the other base. He kills 2 bases during all that. Creep spread is nice, but how much longer will that last for? Reynor needs to get a big fight, a big win in a fight, in order to keep his hopes alive in this game. Otherwise, Clem is just going to overrun with that 2-2 timing. Nice interception on a couple of units, including a Widowmine. Problem is the mute account's been decimated so heavily. I know that's the incorrect usage. I know it means 1/10, but it's been so heavily cut down. Oh, this is actually a brilliant timing here for Reynor, getting in before the missile turret's done on the 4th base. But Widowmine will get the shot off. Ooh, can Reynor get the snipe on the other one? He does. If he can hold here, splits a little bit late from Clem, but he's able to execute them well. 10 SCVs do go down. But Reynor doesn't have enough to hold on. If Clem hadn't gotten those splits off, Reynor might have actually evened up that game, and we could be still in this one. But instead, Clem gets the brilliant splits and takes game 3. Spawning up in the top right position of Solaris. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. Malem in the blue. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left for Basilisk. It is Reynor in the red. Man, that was so enjoyable. Such a great game number 2. Or sorry, game number 3. Honestly, great. Game 2 was fantastic too. Game 1 as well. Just felt like game 1 was kind of insurmountable from the start. Initially, I was concerned for Clem when he lost those Hellions. Diving deep like that did seem to leave him a little bit exposed. But he was able to manage that kind of just fine. I do think that if Reynor had been perfect with the Mutiling, and I really do want to emphasize, like, perfect, he might have been able to keep Clem off that third base for quite a while, especially after that initial skirmish where he kind of dove in, got a couple Marines, forced a big SCV pull, got out. If he had then kept the Mutas alive, I think he could have kept Clem from securing that third base for a while, but unfortunately the Mutas did get baited back into the fight, and it wasn't the scenario I'm talking about. So Clem was able to get a good amount done. Hey, thank you very much, Honorable Macro Terran, for the tier 1 resub at 29 months. Thank you very much, my dude. Hope you are doing well. It's been a while. It's been a while, but I see that you've been supporting this whole time, so thank you so much. Yeah, that's how I feel too, Minigun. Even if the definition of something is different. Nice Spore Crawler morph, by the way, from Reynor. It's always difficult when the drone gets knocked away, because what you're expecting to have to do with your action is different by the drone getting knocked away. So you might be like, okay, I select the drone and then I Spore Crawler morph here. Then it gets knocked behind and you're like, oh, okay, well, I have to, adjust my cursor movement. It's obviously not that complicated, but just a little additional compliment to Reynor that he was able to get the save, and obviously a big compliment to Clem setting that up. But, micro counter micro. That's what we're here for. That's what you love to see. Oh. Well, of course, it was the modified Clash opener, so that link speed won't be done until 4 minutes. So Clem's able to make this area his playground. Ooh. Reynor resaturated that gas rather quickly. No? That feels like he saturated that gas again rather quickly. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Am I crazy? I'm gonna pay extra close attention to see if he's doing anything with that. A little bit supply blocked at 58, which does block that queen from being built. It is going to be Hellion Liberator once again, which we're seeing so much more frequently from these Terran players. They're getting away with this because, well, one, if you're really active with your scouting, it's hard to sneak roaches across the map anyways. But two, the Cyclone. The existence of the Cyclone makes it so that a lot of Zerg players do not want to be going for Roach Ravager Ling attacks. You can still kill an opponent who has opened up Hellion Liberator, but it feels like there's just more natural counters to it as the Terran. But Terrans have taken advantage of that, so that's why we see so much more Hellion Liberator. And it's also just really structured. It is way more powerful. Oh, not enough energy on the one queen for its transfuse. That means it did die, the one queen. Another one getting taken down as well. Clem finding a lot of value with these cars. Ooh, and this is not where you want to engage Reynor. You have the Liberator on the left side. Will get cleaned up, finds a couple of drones, but the Ling's getting cooked in the middle. Clem. Oh, has he gone too far? No, I don't think so. I think this is just fine for Clem. The Hellions doing some amazing work right there. Reynor will be happy that he's cleaned up the Liberator, but after that, you do not feel satisfied as the Zerg if the Hellions are still alive, even two of them. Because he lost 4 queens. That is a lot. Now, fortunately for Reynor, he didn't lose much creep. So even though he didn't lose many creep tumors, is the more important thing. Mostly active tumors. Because when you lose those queens, obviously, if you lose the creep as well, it is really going to slow down your creep spread. But you can, of course, rebuild the queens for the defense itself for when these medevacs come across the map, which they're just now starting to do. But you cannot, replenish the creep until those queens are actually out. So it's very fortunate for Reynor that he was able to keep the creep tumors themselves alive. And that means his creep spread, with only 2 Hellions on the field, it is cooking. It is already starting to cross the midpoint of the map. He gets the jump on the first medevac, puts 48 damage into it right away. Meanwhile, ooh, little run by of Lings. Found, well, it's actually going to find a couple of SCVs here. Nice target fire right there from Reynor. Able to get 3 SCVs. Does lose a queen on the other side, which is not what he wants to be having happen, but he found a few Marines with the initial run by. Yeah, this is definitely worth it, I think, for Reynor. Thank you very much, Buckboo, by the way, for the Prime resub at 12 months. A year. That is an accidental Viking for sure. That is obviously not on purpose. That's an oopsie. A little bit of a mistake right there from Clem. Can't happen when you're macroing during these incredibly high speed situations. Finally, a little bit of creep getting cleared up, but it is really minor relative to the amount of creep spread that is already on the map. This is a really good situation for Reynor, for sure. Clem does remember his +2 weapons. Doesn't have the gas for +2 armor, so he can't start that up just yet. Baneling speed in 1-1, not yet done for Reynor. He does not want to fight right now. He wants another 10, 15 seconds. Ooh, Widowmines gets some big connections on the Morphing Banes. Second Widowmine gets a decent shot as well, but this will get pushed back, and this will buy time for the 1-1 and the Bane speed. Reynor behind this. +2 Carapace starts up. Hydroden and Infestation Pit nearly completed. He's on 81 drones, which is obviously a very nice economy. Clem, though, landing his own 4th command center. So we are looking at a pretty even situation going into the mid-game. Ooh, almost got a big friendly fire Widowmine shot. Still was able to kill 2 Marines off that. Much better than nothing, that is for sure. Anytime you kill units with your opponent's units, you're usually pretty happy about that. Now, what Reynor is not going to be happy about is the lack of that +2 melee. Finally starts it up. I think he was also short on resources there. God, there's so much to follow in a game of StarCraft 2 between these two. They're so ridiculously fast. Ooh, 1 queen not able to get transfused. There was no energy on the other ones, which means that the last 4 queens are in some big trub. Target fire on the Banes is brilliant right there. And on the left side, now we're going to see Clem starting to break through. The army fell apart without those Banes. Even with a big friendly fire Widowmine shot coming in on the medevacs, it didn't hit the bio units. 1 medevac does get taken down, but it's the empty one. And now we see another base going down on the bottom side. Clem is cooking all of a sudden. Not, what, a minute ago, 45 seconds ago, I said this game was even. And just like that, all of a sudden, it has now been broken wide open. Reynor still has a chance to stabilize, but he needs to really turn off. Well, he needs to shut down any attacks, He needs to shut down any attacks from Clem for the next minute and a half until these bases get reestablished. He is still on 4 bases, but he lost this center high-yield gas base. He's lost a lot of that creep that he had. He's still got creep through the middle, but that is not where the fights are taking place. If the game goes long, that creep could come in handy in a big way, but until then, it is not contributing much. Does deal with the Widowmines very well right there, Reynor, that is. There are still 3 behind this. Ooh, and they get some big connections. Bane's coming in from the flank from nowhere. They got some good value there. No Hydra speed, by the way. +2 melee. The Forgotten upgrade gets denied. Oh, no. That is a disaster for Reynor. I didn't see how far along it was, but it was not that far from completing. And now we've got a maxed out Clem. building a 5th command center, sorry, 6th command center on location. He's already got a 5th command center landed, turning it into a planetary. Still no Hydra range upgrade, unfortunately. Clem started to add on Marauders. He has got so much momentum right now. Out-trading Reynor very hard. Snipes down the Hydra, not allowing it to get its the bait on the Widowmine shot. Widowmine does get dragged into the medevacs a little bit, but target fire on the Banes. The stutter step target fire is just insane. Finally, that Hydra speed or Hydra range upgrade is coming in, but these are 0-2 Hydras against 2-2 Bio. And that Hydra range upgrade will not be done for a little bit. We got the double Evo being rebuilt here, but Reynor really in trouble. Widowmines, they get some decent connections again. Clem, though, has stepped very far forward on the creep, and that will allow Reynor to get a decent trade on the bottom side, but double drop into the natural. It is going to kill this hatch. I like the decision, the decisiveness. The decision? Decisive? Yeah, decisiveness to go after that hatchery. We will see Reynor cleaning this up. And that's actually, well, I said that he needed to not take critical damage. And he needed to take some good fights for the next little bit. These are decent fights. Clem has lost a lot of units. It's been even trades. The problem, of course, is Clem's economy is insane behind this. 82 SCVs, 6 bases. Ooh, that was almost a mind drag into a an 11 HP medevac, which would have been a kill. Clem, though, really keeping the pressure dialed up to 11, and now he balls up his whole army on the top side. Widowmines, a lot of them are on cooldown, but there's no detection. No detection. We do see another Nidus Worm counterattack trying to come up into the main base. Finally, the Overseer shows up. Will get the job done. Lurkers are going to pop out here, and Widowmines do not deal with this setup particularly well. Hold on. This could completely break the momentum of Clem. There is detection for the moment, but that missile turret will get taken down. This is exactly what Reynor needed. 8 SCVs already going down here. These are ranged lurkers, and this is drag the army back home. Most of the lurkers escape out through the Nidus Worm. Now we're going to see Reynor turning on the jets and going for the counterattack at the front third base. Factory, oh, it's a big deal if he can get the kill on that, but it will get repaired. Banelings, nope. Not going to be able to get the connections, but the lurkers joining up at the front line. No adaptive talents, but they still have range, and there is not a whole lot that deals with the lurkers. It's 42 Marines, 2 Ghosts, 9 Marauders, 2 Vikings, 7 Widowmines, no Siege Tanks. Command Center is going to fall. These lurkers have completely turned this game around. Clem was on the verge of winning this, and Reynor with the counterattack, the counter Nidus play, completely shifts the momentum in his favor. Clem is not out of it yet, though. I was going to say, Reynor should definitely look to save those lurkers if he can, and he does exactly that. He didn't knock out any of the... Actually, did he? No, he did kill that base. Did he? Yeah, he killed the orbital. But he didn't knock out any of the fresh bases. That was not the most important base for Clem. I do like this Nidus Worm and the natural off of the Changeling here. Ghost, ooh, a couple of them pretty far forward here. One of them already getting taken down. Second one as well. A lot of Marauders to get through for those Banelings, so the Marines in the back do stay protected. Nidus Worm. Oh, Lurkers. They're going to get surrounded, but there's so much firepower in those Lurkers against the Bio, and the Bio army of Clem gets shredded before it can clean up those Lurkers. Massive plays from Reynor coming in the last couple of minutes, and now there is still not a good answer to these Lurkers. I love the fact that Reynor is committing back into them. Yes, he lost a few, but they do not take long to rebuild, and like I said, there's 1 Ghost, 7 Marauders, and no tanks, no Liberators. Now Adaptive Talents has finished as well as +1 missile, which means these Lurkers are even stronger than they were last time. I think we're going to Game 5. Ling's going to run by into the main. Honestly, probably not going to find too much actual damage, but they're just distracting Clem. Reynor. Oh, these Lurkers. How? Wait, what? That looked like those Lurkers were going to get the biggest shots of their lives, and then they just didn't. Very interesting. No burrow means that he cannot actually burrow these lings, but he's denying mining. Even now, Clem is still maxed out and still has a very strong economy. Ooh, we do see a jump on top of these lurkers. Good job from Clem. Reynor still hasn't done it yet, but he is doing it. He is in the process of doing it. Repositioning these lurkers, setting up a really nice concave. There we go, to start targeting down the SCVs that are repairing. But the repair is still very good. And honestly, as long as he keeps these bases alive, like this is superficial damage for now. Ghost count now up to 3. They're all down on the bottom side. Funnily enough, not sniping. But now we see a big portion of Lings, Banes, and Hydras joining up with the Lurkers. And we're slow sieging this position. Will take down the base finally. The base in the middle is going to be saved. There is a big counterattack that finds the high-yield gas base. Well, which is out of gas at this point, so it's not as big of an impact as it would have been before. Ooh, Reynor getting up maybe a little bit antsy. Wants to take down this base quickly. And I think we'll be able to do so. Yeah, there's just not enough repair and not enough units in position. Now Reynor has knocked Clem back down to just 4 bases. Should maybe chill out a little bit. He's still got great creep spread. He's actually down, like, a lot of army supply. Clem's army is just gigantic right now. Where were 16 Widow Mines. Okay, I was like, where is the army? Well, that's 32 supply in Widow Mines. Not often you see that. Infestors being added on is a huge boon here for Reynor. Reynor has finished up +3 Carapace. Clem never got into +3 armor. Oh, well, he's about to have +3 armor. But Reynor will bring the upgrades a lot closer to parity. That armor, actually, the advantage is going to be big. Ooh, Lurkers are going to come on in. Lings really won't do much against this army with a 2 upgrade disadvantage against the armor. Also, no adrenal glands is a big deal, too. Widow Mines do get cleaned up in the middle. Big counterattack on the top side. He's going to find another base of Reynor. Reynor is still in some trouble. He's actually down 60 army supply now and going to lose a lot of drones on this top side. Oh my god, the Widow Mines are everywhere. They will get cleaned up. Well, some of them do, at least. Ooh, these units are away from the medevacs, which means that the Lings might be able to get the jump. Hydras find 1, 2 medevacs. Greedy going for the second set of pickups there. He does get out with one of these. Fungal Growth. I don't even know what happened there, but the Infestor, I assume, went down. +2 melee, +2 missile will complete. Still no adrenal glands. Reynor is actually gas-starved. He's adding on Infestors. Widow Mine. Oh, good spread right there from Reynor. Great spread, in fact, on both Widow Mines. Still no burrow. I think he's realizing he doesn't have that burrow as he tried to maybe burrow some of those Lings. Lurker does get cleaned up here. Clem is still maxed out. 52 SCVs and 147 army supply. Now 53 SCVs, 147 army supply. So fully officially maxed out. Oh, these Widow Mines. Oh, could have been a lot worse. Good split at the last second. One of them with 1 kills, one of them with 29. Portal Command is going to be set alight, and the Hydras actually will get the kill on that. But the counterattack on the other side of the map is... Oh, Lurker does get cleaned up. Do we have any Lurkers at home? 7 Lurkers coming back in. And there's an Infestor here as well. We do have Reynor with a base on the bottom side. He should actually probably try and take this base. Clem did secure this base on the top side. Fully secured it, and that's a big problem for Reynor. Clem is still going mass bio. He is not trying to counter the Lurkers in direct fights. He is trying to avoid fighting the Lurkers. Burrow is coming on in. Still no adrenal glands is a big problem. Oh, that's a lot of medevacs. Oh, well, there's the army that goes with them. God, this game is insane. Fungal Growth on a big portion of bio in the middle. Not the best units to target, but still getting any trades is good. However, he loses a lot of Lings to those Widow Mines. And the Widow Mine count is still insane at 15. Ooh, he's going to try and go on top of these Lurkers. Only 4 of them were burrowed. Mine's getting some good shots. That's going to be a lot of Lurkers going down. Only 2 of the 7 initial Lurkers survive. I think this is where you maybe start needing Vipers to deal with this. Oh my god, this game number 4 on Solaris is insane. It is absolutely bonkers here. Another Ling counterattack coming on in. These are 2-3 Lings, but once again, they don't have adrenal glands. Big bio army on the bottom side finds the final mining base of Reynor. And Reynor gets in with a Ling run by, but there's not a whole lot to find here. I think Clem is showing it, has done it after all. Fungal growth is going to be big. It's a double fungal. But obviously the damage does not stack, and GG will get called. Clem takes a magnificent series, never losing sight of the game in general in that game number 4. And if you enjoyed that one, well, damn straight you did. Make sure to check out the rest of my videos, and we will catch you on the flip side. Hit that like and subscribe. You know all the stuff. Do the things on YouTube. Thank you.